Okay, so we look at Metro 2033, the Redux edition at 21:9. These Metro games are some of the best out there. They provide fantastic gameplay, riveting stories, and gorgeously creepy environments to explore. You're fighting your way through a post-apocalyptic Russia, fighting both humans and a variety of mutant creatures that have spawned from the nuclear wasteland, and it's so brilliant. Anyway, before I go on, let's cover the ultra-wide support. So the game is pretty much perfect. There is native ultra-wide support throughout everything. Gameplay correctly shows off more on the sides of the screen. The main menu is a live in-game rendering in a tunnel, so that works perfectly. In-game menus just shift to the left-hand side of the screen. Screen effects all use the entire screen space, and this applies to when wearing a gas mask too, and you're covered in rain or blood and you're wiping it off. The map and objectives are on a clipboard that you hold up, so that's exactly like a 16:9. Even loading screens fill the screen space. In fact, the only thing that doesn't support 21:9 correctly is the initial startup loading screen, which is like 18:9 with small black bars on the sides and is very low quality, but that hardly counts. Now, there is one frustration. There is no FOV slider, no easy way to change your FOV. However, thankfully there is a way to do it via Documents INI Edit. Type %appdata into Windows, go back one step just to the AppData folder, go into Local, 4A Games, etc. until you get to the Metro 2033 file. Open that single file into Notepad and search for FOV, then just simply change that to your desired level. However, you can't just type in like 100 or 90, you need to calculate the right number as it's the vertical, not horizontal number needed. So go to the link in the description and it will allow you to calculate your FOV number. So put in your resolution, screen size and desired FOV level, then it will tell you what to put into Notepad. I went with 54. Then save the file and close it and off you go. Easy, it's weird why there's no slider in-game. Remember though, for full step-by-step details, check the description. Performance-wise, the game is extremely well optimized as well. The Redux games brought improvements to both this game and Last Light. However, 2033 really saw the biggest improvements with a completely new engine implemented, and it can be felt. I'm running at 3440 by 1440 on a 1080 Ti and have maxed everything out. By the way, just a reminder for those unaware, the SSAA settings stand for super sampling, which means you will run at a magnitude higher than your native resolution in order to get better quality, but it will kill your FPS and isn't worth it unless you're rocking, say, a 1080 Ti on a 2560 by 1080 panel. So just keep it off. Anyway, yeah, with these settings I looked at about 80 to 95 FPS at every moment, no problem, through firefights and busy scenes. Now, a tip to note, I was running with my NVIDIA control panel settings for physics on automatic, which means it usually would put physics workloads onto my GPU. However, because I'm on a 7700K, I changed it to forcibly put the physics workload onto my CPU instead, and I saw a very significant FPS improvement. Take this one scene. On the left, I have physics on my GPU, and on the right, I have it on my CPU. Basically, I saw a 20 to 30 FPS increase. So if you have a decent CPU, I recommend making that change in NVIDIA control panel and you will likely see an FPS boost. There admittedly isn't a wide variety of graphics options to tweak in this game, and I won't deny that's not a good thing, and no indication of what other anti-aliasing feature, for example, that is being implemented is annoying as well, but thankfully, like I say, the game is well optimized, which should at least make up somewhat for the lack of customizability. Another point which will frustrate some people, when playing with the controller, and yes, I love playing with a controller, so keyboard and mouse people, shh. The sensitivity options are all too low, even on highest settings. However, there is a fix for this, it would seem. Details on what to do are down below. I actually didn't increase the sensitivity personally, and I know this will sound ridiculous to most people, but I don't know. Just for some reason, for this game, it felt it fit. I liked the idea that I was cumbersome, unable to snap around and look somewhere I wanted instantly like I would with something like COD or Battlefield. It fits like the rest of the game's premise that you are a slow character who is weighed down with his equipment and aren't some snappy super soldier. But regardless, for those of you that want that controller sensitivity increase, like I say, all the details are in the description. So this game is fantastic fun. It's a first-person shooter, yes, but before those of you who automatically hate such titles run for the hills, hear me out, as this is no normal military shooter type game. The Metro games are based upon the fantastic books, and the premise is that there was nuclear war, and those of you that survived are now living in the huge Russian metro system to survive. Humans are divided into lots of different factions, such as Nazis, communists, etc. However, above ground, humans aren't the worry, mutant beasts are the danger. From flying terrors to all kinds of messed up insects and the like, it's properly freaky, and the gameplay matches all of this. It's a mix of both action, so lots of shooting, stealth, where you can choose to silently proceed, taking enemies out carefully and quietly, and also horror. The horror element isn't massive, but it certainly is still present, more in a creepy thriller kind of way. You'll find yourself in scary tunnels with creaking sounds and moans around you as things crawl and scuttle out of sight, only to suddenly ambush you. The fighting is intense, you'll frequently be outmatched and need to fight for your life. It isn't an easy game. Even on normal mode you will face your fair share of challenges, so be prepared. You have a number of different difficulty levels as well to play on, and the harder you choose, the less loot you'll find lying around. See, this is the big difficulty with this game, its limited resources. You are given a very minimal number of supplies, a small amount of bullets, gas masks, air filters, etc. You can find lots of stuff around the levels if you search for it. Obviously at the start of the game, lots of it is very easy to find, but as you go deeper it gets far more scarce, and without ammo or air filters, you'll die fast. You can purchase more stuff at metro stations using bullets, but again, you're not endowed with a lot of them even if you search a lot, so spend wisely and shoot carefully. Every bullet counts, and you can even shoot your bullets which count as currency. They are better rounds that pack more of a punch, but of course that's your cash equivalent being fired, so don't be overkill with it. On this point, when you're above ground, you are required to have your gas mask on. Keep it off for long enough and you'll die. However, having the gas mask uses up air filters, and each air filter only lasts for so long. You can see how much time is left on your watch on your left wrist. You need to swap out new filters every so often, and it is something that means you can't just sit around. You need to keep moving quickly when above ground so you can continue to breathe. Again, like this, your torch needs charging every so often. You have to take out your manual charging pump thing and wind it back up again, which can be stressful to do if you're in the dark and enemies are all around. These mechanics all lead to making the gameplay so much more engaging and stressful. You never feel safe. The weapons too follow this idea of being imperfect. They are very makeshift. The SMG, for example, is very inaccurate and will overheat quickly, which is a nightmare in the middle of a firefight. Another weapon, for example, requires air compression, which means it's silent to shoot, which is great, but every shot decreases the amount of power the gun has, and if it gets too low, your shots will just do no damage, so you need to keep that pumped up. Again, the gauge for that can be seen on the gun, so watch out. I also want to point out that the stealth element of this game is superb. It's not bolted on, but instead designed for. There are many moments where the stealth option is very viable and might in fact be a necessity for those of you who get to a section with very little ammunition to expend, and so a knife is the only way to kill, or simply avoiding the enemies outright is the only choice. Other nice touches to the game are the lighter, which illuminates your objectives board. It also doubles as a direction hint, as the flame will blow in the direction you should travel, helpful in the more wide open areas. Also, the menu system for activating your torch or battery recharge tool or gas mask, etc. is very neatly designed as well. Nothing is clunky, slow, or such like that would take away from the gameplay. All in all, this is a brilliant game. Yes, it has issues, and I would say overall Last Light is a slightly better title, but for the first in the series, it's one hell of a good game and totally gets a recommendation from me, especially with a WAF score of 5, its ultra-wide support is perfect. So I hope that gives you some information on how the game runs at 21:9. Give this video a like if you found it helpful and subscribe for future info. For any of the games at 21:9, head over to my channel or the WAF website. Hopefully I've covered it. If I haven't, then leave a comment down below and I'll try and cover it. And if you'd like to support the channel, the links to my Patreon page are in the description and Amazon affiliate links are there too. See you later.
Strange sounds. Either the ground is making that noise or the wind. But I also heard tales of singing pipes. They say if you listen long enough, you can hear the voices of the dead. What bullshit. Be extra quiet here. There should be a roadblock in second tile. We don't want to drop it. Shit, caravanners. They're all dead, I know that style. Bandits. And Hansa boasted that they'd wipe them out. Now keep your eyes peeled. They won't let us pass freely. Alarm system. Ancient, but quite efficient. If you want to arrive unexpected, try not to disturb the cans. Watch your step. Any crunch or crack will give you away. Oh, a tripwire! An excellent way to get rid of the blind and daredevils. You get what to do? Hey, what the hell? Cool.
I tell you, they're making it too easy. This bunch was trying to save a buck and didn't hire a rear guard.
Those stupid assholes.
John, hush. Them fans a military trolley. They are looking for the bandits. Artyom, hold your fire! Shit! Can you hear this? Let's fall back a bit. Fox!
Bandits control this station. We need to move quietly and take a look around. If we don't see my friends, we get the hell out of here. I remember this crate. Let's just